Sabrina has extended her set time by 10 minutes mysteriously.
I just like watching Gemma struggle. And I love Gemma.
The Madonna math is mathing.
I was actually at Coachella saying, I'm too pretty, let me forward.
Hal, you've been to Coachella.
I have been to Coachella.
Is it worth it?
That festival is not worth it.
Sacre bleu. I just want to go to Paris. Welcome to Showbiz Fix, sponsored by Sun Bingo. This is your destination for the inside scoop on all our celebrity exclusives and the biggest entertainment stories you're loving this week. Crocodiles and snakes are the stuff of nightmares on I'm a Celebrity, but it looks like the real scare in the South African bush is burnt food and air fryers. We've got the full exclusive scoop as Harry Redknapp is forced to pick a celeb to evict from the jungle. Plus, we'll be deep diving Madonna, Coachella, and the rude interaction between two influencers. It's exciting, right?
It is exciting.
I feel like there's just celebrities feral all across the globe right now.
I know. Someone needs to put them under control and corral them.
One dash of sunshine and everyone loses their heads, don't they?
I know, but let's do I'm a Celeb first because it's my favourite. Hal, who have you been enjoying?
I mean, of course, that one name on all of our lips for I'm a Celeb is Gemma Collins, right? Like, she has been so entertaining. But also Scarlett Moffatt. I feel like we sort of haven't seen Scarlett on our screens for a while, and it's great to have her back and sort of remind everyone, like, yes, she's actually really funny.
Yeah, it's just so natural, isn't it? Like, someone has said that Gemma Collins knows that she speaks in memes, whereas Scarlett, it's just that bit more natural.
I think Scarlett's just really authentic, and that's what people forget. We remember, like you said then from Gogglebox, that she was just accidentally hilarious. She doesn't mean to be. She's just very funny. And her and GC together is like a brilliant, chaotic nightmare that I'm loving.
It's just insane, isn't it?
I just like watching Gemma struggle. And I love Gemma. No, and that sounds awful, but it's so, like, she's gone in there to prove something, and actually watching her go through these awful ups and these, you know, awful downs that are hilariously funny to watch, it sort of makes you love her more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what a joy to have someone who, you know, is crying over having to do the washing up.
Don't we all?
And is saying, like, you know, we're a celebrity, we shouldn't have to go through this. I'm like, yes, I want my celebrities to be this delusional. I want you to be a bit unhinged on screen. And I think that's the trouble, is the last few years of actual, you know, I'm a Celebrity in Australia, it's a bit like dry because you have like celebrities in there who are like, aren't that exciting or funny. When you've got Gemma Collins in there crying, saying, I think these producers are trying to kill me. Like, it's the Jennifer Coolidge White Lotus moment. I'm like, this is gold. I love this. It's such good casting. I just think they actually maybe need to have Gemma Collins on every TV show again, because she's been a bit quieter recently, hasn't she? And I'd love for her to have another TV show on, you know, properly, her own reality show, because every meme is absolutely golden.
So everyone is seeing Gemma on screen as this massive diva, but we know off screen she is an absolute icon. So we took her, didn't we, to the Brits twice.
Yes.
And the last time we went, we hosted a box. That's when she came with us. And she came in and we'd laid on all these lovely drinks. And she said, I don't really want that one. I want this one, which was rather more expensive. And she was like, I'll pay. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went and got this, you know, nice drink for her. It was all set aside. It was only for her use. And then literally 2 minutes later, if that, her bodyguard tapped me on the shoulder and said, oh, you can pay for Gemma's drink now. But I was so like outraged, but also kind of in awe that I just paid for it. And then had to desperately email and be like, this has just cost me over £100. Please, can I claim it back?
On expenses.
So, exactly. So but I kind of, that made me love her more. Like, it's like you were sort of her wrangler on the table, weren't you, when we took her the year before that?
Yeah, the year before we had a table, and she asked me to take a photo of her. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then she was like, no, not from that angle. I need it from high up. So she made me in the middle of the Brit Awards, in the middle of the O2 Arena, stand on a chair, just so I could get the right shot of her. But I was like, you know what? If you don't ask, you don't get. And actually, of all the stars that were in the room, there was probably more people queuing up at our table to meet the GC than anyone else.
That woman is a legend. What you see on screen is what she is like in real life. She has got a very quiet, soft and sensitive side. But yeah, that diva you see, that is just her in real life.
She is the woman.
Swanning her way through the O2. I'll never forget her coming. And I feel like there was a fiasco with her tickets or something.
She had also forgotten her ticket, but was like, I'm the GC, I can get in. And they were like, no.
Stopped. But no, she's a legend. Because when she does these things, and that's the thing, I always think people think it's an act for screen. No, she's genuinely like that. But you love her for it.
Yeah.
It's because she is a genuine diva, and she's very sweet and kind at heart. I feel like people never really see that more sensitive side of Gemma. We don't tend to see it a lot, but actually she is very sensitive. She's very thoughtful. You know, she's so devoted to her family, especially her nephews.
Yeah,
Lovely
I think that she really deserves this redemption story, not just for herself, because it clearly meant a huge deal going back to right this wrong of her leaving so early last time. But the outpouring of love. Everyone's just completely back in love with Gemma Collins, aren't they? I think they'd forgotten.
I think after that Sunita thing as well, and that slight little rumble in the jungle between them, rumble in the jungle between them, I feel like people genuinely felt quite sorry for Gemma, because actually she did audition for that part in Chicago. She won it fair and square, and then she was ill. So I feel like poor Sunita maybe had a bit of a pile-on, and then obviously all that amazing drama between them, which I'm still obsessed with, about the Wagatha GC and trying to work out who's the rat on the stories. But yeah.
I love it. Okay, who else are you enjoying?
Do you know what? I love Harry Redknapp. Ex-Spurs, like I'll always love him. And he's just kind of sweet and kind of doddery. And it's so different to him in the jungle first time round. But yeah, I think he's adorable. I love me a bit of Harry.
I've got a bit of a crush on Jimmy Bullard.
I thought you were going to say on Harry Redknapp.
He's kind of a sexy little bad boy, but he looks a bit ratty. But that's kind of my vibe.
Yeah, I just think he's just such good value. But also the other person I'm loving is Adam Thomas. I think the vibes on that boy just seem impeccable. But they have this big row.
Yeah, this is all I'm interested in, is whether we're going to see this row between Jimmy and Adam that kicked off during the trial.
So someone who has watched that episode has told me that one of the two people comes across as an absolute beep.
See, I always thought it was Adam. That's my reading of the story, that I always thought it was Adam that rounded on Jimmy. And that was the beef, and that's where it all kicked off.
So basically, they come to blows over this, a war of words over a trial, still not speaking, real question marks about what's going to happen at the live final on Friday, 24th.
Oh, I hope they're there, because imagine how awkward it would be.
But having read the press coverage that Amanda Devlin did in The Sun, amazing story, I think everyone thought that it was maybe the other way around. The person who's watched this episode certainly sounded surprised at the way that it ended up. So we'll see. So that's coming next week.
I'm so pleased they haven't cut that.
So tonight, Harry, because he lost the eating trial, has to choose one of his campmates to evict.
Right.
So the first one out. Because there's no public vote, basically they have to vote for each other. They lose their places through trials and all that kind of thing. Harry, bless him, has to choose one of his own to kick out. Now, I can tell you, there's this terribly awkward moment. I'm not going to spoil who leaves, but there's this terribly awkward moment where, as part of the conversation about who's going, Harry calls Sean Walsh Stuart. So he's going through his campmates and he's like, oh, Scarlett, you did so well at the trial, and he's deliberating who to sort of send packing, and he goes, Stuart, and everyone just sort of moves past it, and it's so awkward. Bless him.
In Sean Walsh's career coffin.
Do you know what? That would be me, though. I'm so bad with names. I'd be like, you know, God, Emma, you've been so good.
But poor Harry. Harry's obviously just like so flustered in the moment of having to make this big decision and sending the first one home. So cruel for poor Harry. Poor Sean Walsh, though. Forevermore Stuart Walsh.
I feel like that's karma coming around for Sean Walsh. But
I do feel like at some point everyone gets someone's name wrong. I mean, like even Mo Gilligan got Lewis Capaldi's name wrong on stage at the Brit Awards a few years ago, didn't he?
Oh my God, that was amazing.
What did he call him? Sam or something? It was fabulous anyway. It's ridiculous.
It's a nightmare, though, because you genuinely have that moment where you're like, oh my goodness me, have I just done that? Anyway, in 4D HD camera, poor old Harry's never going to live it down. I want to talk about Gemma's mad claims that she keeps making, and these are the memeable moments, but also have everyone talking. So she doesn't have an air fryer anymore because she said it was sucking the oxygen out of her house.
That's probably Gemma talking sucks the oxygen out of her house.
I think the name air fryer, she thinks, oh, so it's frying the air and it must be frying it and getting rid of all the oxygen.
But Gemma is cleverer than these things she says. I know that, you know that. I think Gemma just says things for a reaction.
Well, you know, the other night she also said all of this burnt food was making her feel really poorly, and it's because burnt food is carcinogenic and that causes cancer. And I was like, What?
She is teaching.
I had never heard this before, so I full on went to Google because I was like, this is quite the mad claim for ITV to be airing. You know, journalist hat on. I was thinking, really? It's actually true. So maybe Gemma is right about
I can't believe
this.
you didn't know that. I hope you haven't been eating burnt toast all this time.
That's why
I
I'm
still
always
eat
ill.
burnt toast. Gordon Bennett.
Look, I do hear that you would have to be literally consuming a hell of a lot of burnt stuff for this to have any slight impact on you. I did go to Cancer Research UK about this.
She's a journalist, ladies and gentlemen.
Never be let said I don't take my job seriously.
I'm not getting rid of my air fryer just because Gemma Collins says it sucks the air out of the atmosphere. It's too good at bacon and sausages.
I know that I don't have an air fryer and I can breathe. So I'm not saying she's right, but just saying.
You are just fully signed up to the Church of the GC, aren't you?
You think I am? Everything she says is gospel now.
You know that GC has got a new programme coming up?
She has?
Yeah.
Okay,
On
well, this
Sky.
is the perfect launch pad. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
so it's for Sky and it's basically her journey, having a baby, having a wedding, all this kind of thing. So there's lots more fly on the wall GC to come.
Oh, and it looks, I saw a teaser for it and it looks really good.
Okay, God, get me signing up to Sky.
I'll give you my login.
That and SNL is actually making me think maybe I will get
Are
a
you
Sky.
really into SNL?
just
I haven't watched it yet.
Everyone thought it was going to be rubbish, and then people are saying it's good. So I'm like, okay, that could work.
I think it's just such a mark of TV these days where it just takes a couple of these clips to go viral and then everyone's talking about it. They did really well with a Traitors riff.
In a few weeks, they've got Foo Fighters on. You know, they're like good musical guests and stuff. They've had like some stellar talent on, so
Yeah.
good for them.
Okay.
Sorry, back to I'm a Celeb.
Well, no, I was just going to say, speaking of musical guests, should we talk about Coachella?
Of course.
Tell me about the music highlights. What happened in weekend one?
Well, so I feel like weekend one was sort of the big two talking points were Sabrina Wood, which was Sabrina Carpenter's massive moment. You think 2 years ago when she performed at Coachella, she like wasn't really a big deal, but she debuted Espresso at Coachella 2 years ago. And she said, when I come back, I'll be headlining. Who thought that that would ever happen? Obviously, Espresso went huge. She's released 2 number 1 albums since then. And she came back and she did this show, which was absolutely sensational, like full pop production, like fountains, cars, movie stars on stage. It was like huge, really well reviewed. And then on the Saturday night was Bieberchella. And I think this is actually the more talked about one because this is Justin Bieber's big return. You know, he hasn't really like done festivals or anything in a really long time. And it's sort of a bit like, okay, well, what is Justin Bieber like as a performer in the year 2026? Like, he's not going to come out doing choreographed dance routines singing Baby, you know, especially after doing Swag 1 and 2 last year, which is just very, you know, a very different path. So he came out and he did a lot of the swag stuff, which people enjoyed. And then I thought it was really clever. It's really split people on this, but he came out with a laptop and he was just basically on YouTube and he did like funny memes of him, like videos of him like running into a window, and then there was also just, you know, he was like playing some of his old videos and old songs and singing along with them. And I thought it was a really clever way of doing it because it sort of split the show up a bit. It was something a bit different and funny, and also it was like reflecting on the fact that he was discovered through YouTube, you know, that's like where he came from originally. And so I thought it actually had a lot of heart. I mean, you know, Justin has a lot of charisma, so I think he can get away with it. I thought it was a clever way to do it because, you know, people were comparing, you know, look at what Sabrina did compared to what Justin did. Well, it's like, you can't really compare the two because
They're such different artists.
They're such different artists.
Ellie, wasn't there a theory though that I saw this, that he had to do that via YouTube because of some sort of ownership rights?
Because he'd sold his back catalogue to his music. We've talked about this.
That doesn't add up to me because just because you sell the back catalogue, the rights to your back catalogue, doesn't mean you can't perform songs. That's like saying no one could ever cover a song live because they don't own the rights to the song. Babe, that's not how it works.
Okay,
I think
debunked.
that was the internet just grasping at straws, I think. And people trying to make sense of it was actually, if you listen to Hal's explanation, that's why it makes total sense.
And also so memeable instantly.
Exactly. And then people were talking about it. As you just said, it was more talked about than Sabrina's set. So actually, he's really a PR genius, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
What were your favourite bits? Any highlights?
Bieber. I just really enjoyed it. I know, we know he's coming to the UK, don't we? Which is super exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm heavily saying we know because I just feel so confident that this is going to happen.
There's still 2 blank dates in the BST Hyde Park calendar for this summer. And I think there's been a lot of rumours that he's going to do a US tour after Coachella. And It's been very, very heavily hinted, and we've reported on this before.
Is this a Showbiz Fix exclusive? Are you saying that Bieber's doing British Summertime?
We aren't, I would say, like 80% sure
I think so.
that this is coming.
There's definitely been a gap left for him. Whether he actually does it or not, the gap was left for him.
I think that's a really good way to say it.
And I really would not be surprised if, as soon as that Coachella performance is over on Saturday, maybe like Monday morning, it's announced. Because, you actually don't need a long lead time for ticket sales because people want to see Justin. They've not seen him in the UK for years. So
we'd definitely be there.
Bizarre is never wrong on these things. I'm calling it
now.
Love it. But what I would like to know is, it is a very expensive festival to attend. Never mind the getting there. What happens when you're there? The ticket's like $700. Hal, you've been to Coachella?
I have been to Coachella.
Is it worth it?
No.
In that short answer?
In a nutshell, no. Look, I'm very lucky. I went to Coachella in 2018, which I think is kind of probably the most iconic Coachella of at least the last 10 years, because that Beyonce performance is probably the best live show I've ever seen. That said, that festival is not worth it. Like, when I was there in the daytime, it was like 40 degrees. It was so hot, it was unbearable. And then at night, it's like 7 degrees. You're freezing cold. And also, it's in the desert. Like this, I cannot state this enough. It's in the desert. By the end of the second day, I could not speak. And you see a lot of people at Coachella, wearing the bandanas over their faces. And I just thought, okay, it's like some celeb trying to act inconspicuous. No, it's not. It's because there's so much dust from like the ground that your lungs basically just get filled up with like dirt. And then someone did tell me afterwards, it's a polo field, so all that dirt is like horse manure. I was like, I don't need to know
horse
this.
feces.
So there's that. And also, look, we are very lucky. We've been to Glastonbury a lot of times. Glastonbury is the #1 festival in the world, bar none, because you can party all day and all night. Whereas at Coachella, it gets to like midnight or 1 when the acts finish. Everyone goes home.
So is there no more music after that?
There's no parties, there's nothing. And I was lucky when I went because I had the full VIP treatment. I was very lucky. I was staying on site in an air-conditioned double bed tent thing, which was amazing.
Bouge.
But other people talk about, it's like sometimes 3 hours to get off site and get back to your place, and you're waiting for shuttle buses or waiting for Uber queues. And
you're freezing cold. It's like you say, because you're not going to walk around Coachella with a coat, are you? No. So you're boiling in the day and freezing at night. What makes me sad, though, is like Glastonbury, I feel like when you've watched the headliners and then you'll sort of go pottering around the site, that's when you hear music that you might not have been interested in before. And that's how you kind of get introduced to new music and different genres. And at Coachella, if you don't have that, it's not really like a music festival. It's more like a lifestyle event.
And also the other thing is that, in the way you're saying lifestyle event, the reason why we talk about Coachella is because there's loads of celebs there, right?
Yeah.
Like, Kendall Jenner and Jacob Elordi were snogging afterwards and stuff. There's all these stories that are going on with Coachella.
Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau there. Kim Kardashian and Lewis Hamilton were there. Northwest was wandering around. Hailey Bieber was there. Everyone's there. But the thing is, when you're actually there, there's a huge area in front of the stage, like massive. I'd say maybe almost 100 meters back, which is for the VIPs. So if you even pay those $700 or whatever to get your weekend ticket, you're still miles back.
Oh, that's rubbish.
It's not the same sort of democracy that Glastonbury is, where the celebs are in the crowd with you, and if they want to get close, then they have to try and fight their way up to the front.
Yeah.
I feel like they're probably more left alone at Glastonbury as well, because I feel like at Coachella, the one thing I saw is like, especially around the VIP areas, there's just people standing there with camera phones being like, oh my God, it's Hailey Bieber. Whereas we'd be like, oh, look, there's Dua Lipa, like buying some chips.
We're just more respectful and British.
And that's the thing, and people just don't tend to recognise them as much. Like, these big stars walk around. Like, do you remember when we saw Rami Malek and Emma Corrin? They were just wandering around and literally we saw them, we were like, oh my God. And everyone else just walked by, didn't even recognise them.
Well, last year I was going out to watch 1975 and I just stopped at this bar to get a drink, and it was Lord, Paul Mescal, Gracie Abrams, all these people at the bar. And I was like, wow, no one's even...
No one clocks.
I had a very small intrusion in my boring weekend of Coachella because I received a text with some info about what I'm calling Wagatha Coachella.
Oh, not another Wagatha.
Yeah. So basically, online, an influencer, an LA influencer, put up a video saying that a British influencer who was blonde, blue-eyed, pushed them out the way and was very rude and said, we can get to the front because we're pretty.
Oh.
Obviously, everyone went wild in the comments because what was also made clear in this video was the DJ set this happened at, which was Porsa. Never heard of them. Sound great, though. And so everyone was in the comments guessing Love Island girls. Basically, Helena Ford was mentioned, Jess Harding, because they put up videos at this DJ set, both blonde and blue-eyed. So basically, then the LA influencer got really scared by what she was doing because there was this mad pile-on. And she then came out and said, it's not Jess Harding, here I am with a photo. But I had 3 different text messages saying it was Grace Jackson, who is the girl who is with Luca Bish. She's so pretty. But I was just like, oh my goodness, not Grace Jackson.
Is she big-headed enough to say that?
Well, anyway, I went to her agent and said, look, we've had this allegation, and it'd be good to clear this up. And it became like a full Wag of the Coachella situation. No, because this is the outfit she was wearing and the influencer said that person was wearing black, and all of this unraveled. And I just thought, so just to clear up, it's not Grace. It is still a complete mystery who this blonde British girl was who pushed everyone out of the way at the DJ set.
Ellie, what were you doing at the weekend?
Well, I was actually at Coachella saying, I'm too pretty, let me forward.
But I was like, this is so mad that, like, we're literally like, she was wearing this outfit, because
who is it?
The mystery rude Brit.
Who is
step
she?
Forward.
The trouble is, that is actually the issue, is there's too many brands taking out too many influencers and content creators to Coachella. That's just too many to choose from. We can't work it out.
Have they dropped any more clues since?
So LA influencer has obviously been completely scared off by the raging Love Island fans.
Oh, what a wussy.
And we've not had any more clues beyond this, but we know it's only a matter of time, don't we? So watch this space.
I mean, surely for that influencer, the more engagement they get, the better. So I'd be like,
I have just remembered they were eating.
she was wearing white trainers.
Yeah, brilliant. I just love this though. I want to talk about Madonna though, because she has been linked to Coachella. There's some stuff going on. What's the situation with Madonna? Is she back?
He is your expert.
She is back. I'm so excited. So the context to the Coachella link is Madonna's only ever played Coachella once before in history, and it was in 2006. It was just after the release of Confessions on a Dance Floor, her greatest album, in my opinion.
I was going to say.
And now 21 years later, 20 years later after the Coachella performance, the big rumor is that she's going to come out with Sabrina Carpenter for her set on Friday. Obviously, it's weekend 2 of Coachella coming up. What we know so far is that Sabrina has extended her set time by 10 minutes mysteriously, which makes you think, well, what's going to happen? Like, who's coming out? What extra is going to happen from weekend 1? Sabrina's been like very gushing about Madonna in the past and said that she's, the blueprint for pop stars. And also there's been a lot of rumors, which I'm not sure I totally believe, but could be true, that there might be a Sabrina and Madonna collab coming out at some point. So all of this does seem to be adding up. And then obviously Madonna dropped the news on Wednesday afternoon that Confessions on a Dance Floor Part 2 is going to be coming out in July. She hasn't said exactly when the first single's going to be, but this all does sort of seem to be adding up to the fact that maybe she might come out on Friday night, maybe perform a new song, perform a medley of other bits, perform something with Sabrina, and then maybe the first single will follow at some point before the end of the month.
The Madonna math is mathing.
Honestly, the Madonna math this week has been driving us insane. Because we had a tip in and we basically thought, we know it's coming. So we called up and we were like, will we look a bit silly if we say, new music's coming Friday? No, you won't look silly. So we did it. And then it was, oh no, there's not a song.
Well, we have heard snippets of songs.
We have heard, that's the thing. So I suppose it wasn't a complete porky pie, but it's just so hard, like when PRs and agents talk in riddles and you can't quite get, obviously, which is huge. Like this is massive. So they're not exactly going to go, oh yeah, by the way, it's happening now.
Yeah.
It's this always the riddle and piecing together the pieces, isn't it?
I can see Sabrina and Madonna doing like a Virgin. Papa Don't Preach.
Totally.
Something from that era I can see Sabrina loving.
I mean, Madonna, Sabrina's massively like based some of her look in this like last 2 years off like classic Madonna looks. And I think she's, owned that. And Madonna's said that she is like, really enjoyed it and supports it. So, they've clearly got a good relationship. And it's a bit different from sort of, a while ago when Lady Gaga and Madonna had comparisons and they sort of went at each other's necks a bit. It seems like this is all love and, it's all very cordial.
Lovely.
But the music, I think, the album, it sounds like it's going to be not quite as poppy as Sabrina. It sounds like it's going to be more like dancey, housey, electronic-y music. So it'll be really interesting to see what lane she's gone down, because I feel like we're well overdue music from Madonna. And also it feels like there's a real appetite for it at the moment in a way that maybe there wasn't when she did her last album, Madam X, in 2019. So I'm excited. It feels like there's a lot of people who are up for it, and it seems like it's going to be a cool era for my girl Madonna.
Bring on the 3rd of July.
Hopefully we're going to sit here next week saying, did you see Madonna? It was amazing.
We can keep our fingers crossed.
Right. So now I want to know what you're binning and binging this week. Ellie, ladies first.
I am binning this craze of celebrities being gifted this very expensive full health MOT. So basically they get put into a machine and it's like, oh, you're healthy. They're just flogging it to people. It's a waste of money. Take care of yourself. Go to the doctor if you're concerned. You do not need to go into a machine to scan your body for over £1,000. Bin. Hashtag over.
Or just listen to the GC on I'm a Celebrity, because she's got the answers.
She just dishes it out. She's like Dr. Google. And then I am binging Graham Norton's Wanging On podcast. I'm like their number one listener, but it just gets better and better. If you haven't listened, go and listen, because this week's episode is a cracker.
Oh,
so good.
He's such a lovely man.
I am going to binge Lena Dunham's press tour for her new book, Fame Sick. I think Lena Dunham is such a divisive character, but I loved Girls, the HBO show, which she, did originally. And her character, Hannah, was kind of awful in that show. But it's only now looking back, and when she's been talking on these podcasts the last few days about her experiences on there and her book, it's like, actually, God, she was a 24-year-old woman, like basically showing all the bad parts of, what it's like to be a 24-year-old on screen, and then had a massive backlash about it. And you're like, oh, yeah, do you know what? I think she was treated a bit unfairly at the time, and the book sounds really interesting. So I've just enjoyed her spreading her nuggets of wisdom and talking about that period of her life, because it's also now made me think I need to go back and rewatch Girls, because it was the most ridiculous, funny show.
That's what I was just thinking when you were talking then.
Need to find it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm binning Ticketmaster, because I know we're at war with the bots, right? We can't have the bots buying up tickets. But the trouble is, Ticketmaster thinks I'm a bot. I'm not a bot. Every time I log on to try and buy a ticket, it's like, you're a bot. You can't buy anything. I'm like, what am I meant to do? I'm not. Like, I don't know. How can I prove it to you?
I had that with Celine Dion as well. I was just like, sacre bleu. I just want to go to Paris.
It's impossible. So I don't know. I think maybe I'm just destined to have to get my friends to buy me tickets from now on.
Sounds ideal.
Hal needs friends.
Ticketmaster, if you can sort me out, that'd be great.
So I am binning a film that's on Netflix called Thrash. I love a shark film. I love a disaster film, and it is both. So basically, a tsunami brings loads of sharks into a South Carolina
Is this like
town.
Sharknado?
Of course.
So you'd think it would be a parody from what I'm saying here, but no, it's terribly serious. Phoebe Dynevor's in it, all of this kind of thing. And then the pinnacle for me is when a shark bites a man's bum, starts chomping on his bum, and I'm just like, I can't take this seriously. It's number 1 on Netflix, and I'm like, how?
And it's
I
not
might
a
have
parody.
to watch it. Yeah, it sounds like
Not a parody. Full serious comment on climate change.
Phoebe Dynevor has such a glorious career, and now she's doing like shark bum biting.
Oh my God. I was just like, am I actually watching? What is this? Anyway, terrible.
Attenborough found
Terrible.
You have sold it to me, though. I think I do need to watch it,
Terrible. Okay, and I'm binging Perfect Match Series 4 cast announcement. Now, I wang on about this all the time. I think it's the Olympic Games of dating shows. They bring the very best of the Netflix universe into a villa somewhere lovely, and they make them date. It's perfect telly. But the cast has just been announced for Series 4, which lands on May 13. And it's got loads of people in it who are dating other people now. And it's messy. So Yeaman, who is now dating Whitney off of Love Island UK, he's on it. All filmed before they got together, obviously.
Oh, right.
Also on it is a woman called Brit, who is now dating Locken Whitney's ex. They had the famous row, which you reported on, Ellie.
Messy.
But then also on this programme is Damari, Bree's ex. There's also Sophie off of Love of Blind UK. She was the villain. And there's also Chris off Age of Attraction. So it's all these people that we know and love. And it's so messy already because all of these people are in other relationships very publicly. And it's just like, what the hell is going on?
I feel like Netflix need to cast the old net a bit wider.
It is so messy and I love it. Oh, that's your Showbiz Fix for this week, brought to you by Sun Bingo. Remember to subscribe to us here on the Sun Showbiz YouTube channel for all the inside TV and celebrity gossip. See you next week.